I am out taking advantage of the beautiful weather on the day that I don't have to tutor after school. I am spending some time at Ann Springs and just doing a little bit of everything. I just did a lap on my bike on Prairie Loop. I'm trying to ease myself back into riding. I wasn't able to ride for a while for health reasons, and so lost a little confidence in myself on a bike. So just trying to build that back up. And now I am hiking on Paradise Loop. So this is about a 4.5 mile loop. It is shared with bikes. You go the opposite direction, but doesn't seem very crowded this evening, so that's good. So this trail starts over at the Fort Mill YMCA complex. So I think it's really cool that Ann Springs has so many different entrances for all the different parts of the preserve. So I'm visiting a couple of them tonight. Definitely hearing a couple different kinds of birds out this evening. Also hear some kids playing baseball and tennis from the complex. Lots of families out this evening over there. I think especially because I spend a lot of time working with youth, with kids, I see the value of support for each other. So that's been really apparent and exciting in my classes when I let the kids work together and collaborate to solve problems, and the focus that they have and the support that they're giving each other to figure it out together is always exciting. Some of the kids that started the year with very little interest in what we were doing have become very involved and great participants in class and great supports to partners that they pair up with. So that's really exciting to see that growth for these kids. It will serve them well going forward to know how to do that, because they're developing other skills as well, not just the math skills. One of my classes I have an older gentleman come in and help support the kids. He contacted the school and offered to volunteer his time to help kids in math. And he has a cool story with why he's passionate about it. He's retired now. He's older and just wants to help others. You too. Be set for their futures. He ended up being a college dropout, but because he was fairly well-rounded and did pay attention when he was in school, he ended up having options and ended up becoming a very successful engineer and supervisor and everything. So he wants all of these kids that may not really have the excitement about academics to still learn, so that they're prepared and they have options when they get to that age. So when he offered to volunteer, I know you never turn down a volunteer. So I said, yes, come on in. So he's been coming every day. and working with one of my classes with me, and he continually asks how he can help or steps in when he can. Oh, there's some deer over there. When the kids are working individually or in pairs or groups, he'll circulate just as I do and help the kids. But it was funny today because the kids have gotten to where they really love having him there with us. And it definitely makes them feel special to have somebody coming in just to spend some time with them. And I think there's a hole in that mentor role in so many kids' lives now. So he's filling that for a lot of these kids. So today he wasn't there. Usually he's out in the hallway waiting with all the kids when I finish up the first class. Those are cool. Wow. Huh. There's a squirrel watching us. So the kids were coming up to the door and they wait outside until I go get them. But they saw that Mr. Cox wasn't there. And so they peeked their head in, several of them, and asked where he was, and they were very concerned about him. By the time I got all the kids in the room, he still wasn't there, and at least half the class was telling me that I needed to call him and send him a message and find out where he was. So I wasn't going to harass the gentleman that is volunteering his time. However, he did end up arriving. He was just a few minutes late. Before we even got started with anything, he was there. But the kids were thrilled that he was there, and I know he was tickled that they expressed that appreciation for him being there. That's why he's doing what he's doing, and he wants to help those kids that are struggling and just can't get it, to see it a different way, to see some purpose in learning, and knowing that he's coming in to help them with those things helps them see some of that importance. It's really cool. It's definitely quite dry down there. I guess we haven't had much rain lately. That's probably going to change, though. We're expecting at least 4 days of rain straight, so we'll see what actually happens. Sounds like there's a little water in this part. Oh, and some bikes will pull over. Hi. Oh, there's the water. It's pretty neat looking. A spider over here. Oh, he's busy. Don't know what he's doing, I can't tell. Pretty neat to see all the layers beneath the soil. And Caleb and I are constantly trying to figure out how to best work together and support each other. It's a daily process to learn all that. But it's nice when you get something figured out and you're able to support in that one way, at least. And then you figure out the next one to add into it. I think it's really nice when we're able to figure out how to support kids so that they're learning how to be more independent. Caden still needs a lot of support with things, decision making and organizing and planning. Are all skills that he's still learning, and so I hope that each time I support him with those, his skills improve a little bit and he gains a little more confidence and sees a little more purpose in those things. So we spent some time this morning, once or twice a week, we spend time going over writing in his planner for what he's getting done during the week, and so that he knows what to expect. So we did that for the second half of the week this morning, and I was really glad that it flowed very easily. There was no arguing, which is not always the case with him. No raised voices. He stayed calm, wasn't getting upset about anything. It's progress. It's so interesting the different perspective you have depending on your mode of transportation. I don't usually hike this loop, usually on a bike, and I know that that road's there, but as I'm hiking this evening, it's a lot more obvious. Maybe the time of day has something to do with it. People still trying to get home from work. Caden had a mountain bike race this weekend, and since Caleb coaches, he had gone out on the pre-ride with the team, but I had not. I had helped with registration during that time, and I had wanted to take a walk, so I knew Caden would be tired and wanting to rest, so he was ready for his race the next day. But Caleb was up for it since he didn't have to race the next day. So he walked the race course with me that they had done the pre-ride on, and all of it was new to me because I hadn't been on the trail before. But it was neat that he noticed so many different things that he hadn't noticed, or just things in general. On a bike, you're going pretty quickly when you're racing like that anyway. So you miss a lot of the things that are around you. You're very focused on what you're doing and where you're going. So I did appreciate that after the pre-ride, he came back and said, yeah, you would love the trail, whether it was hiking or biking, just because it was pretty. So that was Big End Creek, which we enjoyed the hike on. It was fantastic, but we were freezing and soaked by the time we got back afterwards. Good memories, though. Thankfully, we had dry clothes to change into, and the rain stopped when we got back, so that was good. So the sun is going down. It's definitely long shadows. I always thought shadows were really fun. Some of my favorites were when we'd see the shadow and I had Caden on my shoulders, or holding hands. It's like I'm looking at a picture and I'm grateful that I'm in that picture. I am definitely enjoying the time I'm taking for myself this evening. I hope you take some time for yourself today. Appreciate the support that you have and be on the lookout for where you can be that support for others. I'll see you next time on the trail with Heart.